Again, thank you for coming this morning. Bowie County Commissioner's Court will now come to order. We've got, I think, 5 people who have signed up to speak this morning. I think it's going to be on a landfill expansion. We don't have jurisdiction in that area. It's not on the agenda, which is the 2 criteria for getting on the agenda. So we're going to dispense with that criteria and just talk anyway. So we'll start in order they came in, and Chester Pinkham is number 1. We'll ask you to keep your comments to 3 minutes, please. Thank you.
Judge, Commissioners, appreciate the opportunity to address you. I understand you don't have jurisdiction, but I asked you to honestly give us a good look and see if you can help us here. My concern I'm bringing before this court today, before this county, is the landfill in Austin, Texas. This landfill has been established 20-something years ago. It's now up for renewal. My contention is I'm going to try to lay out real quickly what a solution to this. I was denied status on February 22nd as a party to this, against this, by Administrative Law Judge Honorable Hunter Perkauser. He said I didn't have status. I really got a heartburn and take it offensive that a lawyer from Austin, Texas will come up to New Boston, my hometown, and tell me it's none of my business if a trash company from Houston, Texas dumps garbage out of New Orleans, Louisiana. And I've got news for him. We're all parties to this. We're all parties to this. This landfill, and first I'm going to tell you right up front, we've got to have landfills. Everybody knows that. We've got to have them. The lifestyle that we've come to this country, we've got to have land. We generate trash. We've got kids in college that if food didn't come through a drive-through in a styrofoam tray, they wouldn't recognize it's food. So we've got to have landfill. I'm with this group here. I don't represent this group. I represent myself with some more people. The way I see it, the way we see it, we've got 3 options on this landfill. We can leave it alone like it is, rock along there and sign a contract for 40 years. Let it go like it is. We can challenge it. There are 2 ways to challenge it. We can challenge it with waste management. We can try to negotiate some better terms. By terms, I mean better control, better monitor, and things that need to be done. Or there's another option that we can do, which I'm in favor of and several people in the community are in favor of, is letting this permit expire. Let it completely expire. Put the landfill in closure. Go to Tex America out here at Red River. Offer Western Maine through Tex America a land swap or whatever, enough property out there on that location to start a new landfill, and with some terms that's agreeable to the county. The terms, if you read the terms of this permit, it's weighted way heavy toward waste. I think they wrote it, to tell you the truth, because it's weighted way heavy in their favor. It would be a benefit to the county, because in all actuality, it is Bowie County. New Boston City at the present time draws $140,000 stipend each year from the landfill. They say they're not in the city limits, which they're not. The landfill is not in the city limits, but they get $140,000. My contention is to move this thing to Texas America, whatever it takes, acre for acre swap, whatever. Give the $140,000 to Texas America as payment for the property. Fill this thing up out here, close it down. It will be a benefit to the community. It will be a benefit to waste management, because they're going to cut their driving time in half, and it rids the community of a site. This site out, the present site, is an industrial site. There's residential growing up out there. There's a truck stop going out there, and that's my intention, is for the court you can't officially do it, for the court to get behind this, and let's see if we can solve this. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Cheryl Stiles.
I live at 402 Rough Street here in New Boston. By the time they expand, I'll be about a quarter of a mile from the landfill expansion. I'm against this expansion. They are built on a floodplain next to a fault line. The toxic runoff runs from the landfill down to Rice Lake and down to Wright-Patman. That's going to contaminate all of our drinking water. They leaked hazardous chemicals, selenium and barium in 2012. So their plastic lining has already fractured, and it's already been found in the soil around the landfill, these hazardous chemicals. That means the dust in the air that we breathe is all filled with these chemicals. It has taken from 2002 to 2014 for the city to collect $426,084. I have that in writing. This is an incredibly small amount when the taxpayers covered the loamer from FEMA to okay the landfill to adjust Rice Creek to the eastern side of their property. So it would pull them out of the landfill when they went up to 150 feet. The taxpayers covered that cost. That was over $3,100. We also covered the cost of getting water out to rural areas that their shallow wells have now been contaminated by this landfill because it is entirely too close to neighborhoods. Has always been too close to neighborhoods, and now they're going to move right across the street from the neighborhood at Pearly Street. I mean, right across the street, that's where they're going to be. And I guess all I ask you to do is think about, would you want it there if you were living on Pearly Street or on Texas Lane? We have 185 signatures so far of people against this landfill, and we're working on getting more. We should all be against the expansion of this landfill. This is detrimental to our city, and we don't want New Boston to become the county seat where anyone can take a dump.
Robert Stiles.
If you haven't guessed already, I'm her husband, and I'm against landfill also. This landfill was established way too close to the city to begin with. And to allow it to grow to 9 times its size, right now they're slated at 150 feet, but if they grow to the size that they want to grow, they can petition in 40 years to go 300 feet. I mean, it's already above the tree lines. We're already seeing it at the highway. We're already smelling it. And like she said, they've already had one incident where they've leaked, and it's contaminated groundwater. With all this rain, how much more of that is going to get into the groundwater? And I'm for letting this permit expire, letting it finish out its life, and moving it someplace else, because it's just way too close to the city to be a mega dump. It should have been a municipal dump, stayed a municipal dump. It should have never been a regional dump. They've pulled in stuff from Pennsylvania. Was it Pennsylvania?
And New Jersey.
And New Jersey, which we were told it was only this region. We didn't know that it was any region in the United States that they could dump stuff from. We don't know what was in that. I'm sure they didn't record what was in those trucks that they dumped, but they were lined up down 82 waiting to get in one morning. I didn't think nothing of it, but I just thought, well, maybe they had some problems that they couldn't dump the day before. But they were lined up down 82 all the way past the bridge waiting to get into the dump. And it wasn't until after the fact that I found out that they were from another state. Thank you very much for listening.
Thank you. Mr. Arthur Nero.
Good morning. To Judge Carlo and to the other county commissioners. My name is Arthur Nero. I live at 144 County Road 3012 here in New Boston. And I moved here, I guess, I had my home built in 2006. And I moved here permanently about 2.5 years ago. And I had no idea that I would be involved in opposing such a large landfill in what I thought at the time that I moved was a beautiful small city. Having spent 40-some years in California, originally from DeKalb, Texas, but I thought New Boston was a nice city until I found out that we were going to have a mega dump. When once the expansion is made, my property is approximately 1/4 mile from the proposed expansion. I look at the future of New Boston being a small town with a mega dump, and that's why I can't understand the decision that was made to allow Waste Management to expand 9 times the size that it is now, when it's going to come up to the borders of our city. In some instances, it's going to be in people's backyards almost. And I also think that, you know, there are already current health problems. So we don't know what's going to be like down the road. I can't picture anyone in their right mind, our young people who go to school here, go off to college, that would want to move back here when we have this mega dump sitting on our west end of the city limits. And if you go over there now we've had a lot of rain the past few days. You go over there now, and you can see how that water is running. The water runs east. It runs east to Texas Lane, into Pearly Street. It comes underneath Highway 992, goes over in the other neighborhood where it's predominantly black. That's what I don't understand. Whenever we want to do things that may jeopardize the health of our cities, we seem to always want to put it on the north side of New Boston. And those of you who are familiar with New Boston, it's predominantly a black area. And that water runs all the way down, it goes underneath the interstate, and it goes right down between the car dealership and my local church that I go to, Prosperity Baptist Church, who is also a party in this. They bought 10 acres of land, which is going to be, once the expansion is done, it will be just the opposite side of the freeway from the expansion. And that has caused us to start thinking about altering our plans to build. But they've bought 10 acres of land. That's, you know, in the future, it's not going to be any good for us because we don't want to build a church there when we come outside of our sanctuary, walk outside in the parking lot, look across the interstate, we're looking at a landfill. We don't want that. So I oppose this landfill because it's just, it really doesn't do the city any good. It was a decision I felt that was made without the concerns of the people who live here. I've canvassed the neighborhood, I've talked to different people. Most people don't even know about this expansion. So that tells me there was not enough communications between whomever made the decision to allow Waste Management to proceed with their application to expand, didn't think anything about the people that live here. And the majority of the people that I've spoken to, everybody that I've spoken to is against this landfill. They just didn't know anything about it. And that's why it was a lack of communication, I think, when this came up for the city to decide, or the county, whomever decided. I don't know, I wasn't here, but I'm concerned because right now, I'm about approximately a mile from the existing landfill, and I deal with the smell every day. And I know it's just gonna get worse once they expand. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Ted Fields?
Yes, ma'am. I'm Ted Fields. I live at 101 Purdy Street. We've mentioned Purdy Street a couple times. I can see it from the house. And I appreciate this opportunity to express my opinion about that landfill. I didn't make any notes or mind it off the cuff. I've been involved in trying to get some signatures on the opposition list, and I can't help it because that thing is running across my land. And it's running across 82 and the other waterways. This thing, I'm told, it has a toxic flame. You can see it coming in on Interstate 30. There's a blue flame that's way up in there, and it continuously burns. And then I'm told that there's an eternal flame of some type in Freeport that they cannot extinguish. Oh, I'm told that health hazard. This thing is a cancer causing, mental retardation, brain damage, all kind of stuff that thing is going to cause. And if this is continuous, if that flame has anything to do with these health issues, we will have a continuous flame that's subject to explode, wipe out New Boston, who knows? This thing is supposed to expand 9 times, so many times larger than it is. And it will have some kind of maintenance that will remain as expensive as New Boston once that thing is filled, if we're allowed to fill. I kind of think New Boston has made a dump and fell back in it. And I don't think they realized when they were doing it, the damage they were causing the county. I'm told now that they have certain slogans going around, why not take a dump in New Boston? I don't want to be in a county that's known for a mega dump. I've been here all my life, and this has been a nice neighborhood. But I don't think it's going to continue to be one. I don't expect my son, he's got 4 kids. I don't think he'll want to stay here right there next to the dump. I can see that thing when I walk out the door and see buzzers floating around. I just think that New Boston has made a dump, has made a mess, and they need to help us out this dump, even though they might not realize what they did in the past, but they realize what it has done now. When we had our last city council meeting, we met and we had comments to make, and I made an effort to go. I don't think any of these people on that city council. Anyway, I made an effort to shake each one of their hands and say, look, we made a mess. Would you assist us in controlling this mess, even stopping it if we can? So I thank you for my effort. Thank you for allowing me to come in for the county commission meeting. Thank you.
Thanks, sir. Any comments? Commissioners have any comments? Thank you all for coming this morning. Next item is consider March 15th to the 21st, 2015 is Employment Prevention Week. Fits right in with our program this morning. Do I have here a motion that we proclaim this week, March 15th to the 21st, 2015 is the Poison Prevention Week in Bowie County?
Make a motion, need a second.
Motion made by Commissioner Blackburn, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Stone. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion passed. The next item is consider and take action to approve a data use agreement between the Texas Health and Human Services Enterprise and the Bowie County Clerk's Office.
This just goes along, the federal government changed something, and so the state has to do a data use agreement. It goes along with the contract that we already have so that we can issue birth certificates for anyone born in the state of Texas, not just Bowie County. And basically, they're just wanting to make sure we're protecting the confidential information, which we have done, and we went through all the training that's required by the state for that. I'm glad that answered any
So you
questions.
recommend it be approved?
If it's not approved, I can't issue birth certificates anymore, so that's how I like for it to be approved.
Any questions of the county clerk regarding this issue? Carol, you reviewed it?
I have.
And Craig,
I'll make a motion, we approve the agreement between Texas Health and Human Services Enterprise and Good County Clerk's Office.
motion made by Commissioner Carter, is there a second? Second by Commissioner Whitten. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion passed. Presenting some line item adjustments this morning. William, you want to?
Yes, sir.
Comments on
And I do have some, and they have been approved by the commissioners, and each of y'all do have a copy of those. All the line item adjustments were within each department. I didn't have to pull anything from one department to another, so we're still good there, so. And I'll continue to do these as we need to each quarter.
All right, good. Hear a motion to be approved.
Yeah, you'll make a motion to approve the budget adjustment.
Motion made by Commissioner Stones, is there a second?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Carter. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion passed. Next item is consider and take action to approve or amend the minutes as an order of the court.
We skipped
What is
accounts
skip?
payable, number 6.
I was hoping we skip paying the bills. Nobody noticed that. Do I hear a motion, we pay our accounts payable?
I make the motion to pay the accounts.
Thank you, Kelly, and the people, we appreciate it.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Stone. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. Hearing none, the motion passed. Now, we need to approve our minutes of the previous meeting.
I make a motion, we approve the minutes as submitted.
Motion made by Commissioner Carter, is there a second?
I'll second it.
Second by Commissioner Whitten. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion passed. Next item is motion for adjournment. Do I hear a motion to adjourn?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Motion made by Commissioner Stone.
Second.
Second by Commissioner Carter. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion passed. We stand adjourned. We thank you for coming this morning.